Welcome to another episode of Light Chats. We're joined today again by Kristina.
By popular demand, too.
I like it how our only time to hang out now is doing this. You come to Oakville and you're just like, oh, by the way, do you want to do this thing? It's just like, yes, I guess we can. Yeah. So that's great. Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you for having me back. It's great.
So we've clearly run out of ideas what to talk about forever ago, and apparently people only watch this show when we talk about relationship stuff, so we figured, why not bring in our friend to talk about her and ours, but the worst breakups that we've ever had. Because the dating video was such a raving success, we thought, why don't we do this? Why don't we just hold ourselves up for a little bit more entertainment? So I figured, you know what, Kristina, you've been with guys for a long time. Like any boys?
Oh God, that's
like any boys that you date for long term.
Yes.
That was not how you worded it.
But it's close enough. Yeah, I mean, you understand what I meant.
The few relationships I've had have been of length.
Yeah, like long.
Not like guy here. Like it's been 6 months or a year or 6.5 years. But who's counting anymore?
Yeah, that's a long time, man.
Oh my God! All right.
So, but no, because like, and again, it's for you're committed for a long period of time. Like, how many guys would you say that you date?
Oh my God! I can't believe this. So
sorry.
This is good stuff.
Like four.
That's it. Eh?
4.
That's it.
Yes.
4.
4.
Okay. Yeah, that's. Kakamo, I think she's got you beat though. Like that's.
It's not a competition.
But I'm. So what?
Well, because like I'm trying to think of different stories to talk about here. And
yeah,
because like
we all know I have the least to choose from.
Yes.
All right, that's.
Well, I've had 4 relationships and 4 really good breakup stories.
Okay, so let's have you talk about the best one. If you wanted to classify it as that, yeah.
The best of the worst breakups.
Yes.
Here we go.
Here we go. Strap yourselves in.
Basically, I was in grade 11, and the texting thing was still kind of new. Still had that good old Motorola Razr that we talked about last
Everyone's
time.
first phone. Yeah.
Everyone's first cell phone. And I think we had been dating for 6 or 7 months at the time, and in grade 11, that's kind of serious.
That's a long time. Yeah.
He was a year older than me, and we broke up over text. He texted me
that's not good.
at like 2 a.m, but it was his birthday. It was like a Wednesday, and I had planned a surprise birthday party for him that weekend.
Oh, wow.
And then
that hurts.
3 or 4 weeks later, I saw he was back with his ex.
Wow.
So that made it really easy to move on.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm like, what the heck? Why did we drag this out? What was the point? And that was my first real, I'd say, serious relationship, and it was also the one that was like, I understand Taylor Swift now.
And that was when she was becoming more popular too. So
yes,
like
that
you
was
basically like you grew up with.
That was like fearless speak now generation.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, but like I mean, it's a shame that again you were asking why did it take so long to get to that point? Because you're thinking to yourself, if you felt this way 6 months ago, why would you string me along
why did
for
we
that
bother?
long?
What was the
Why
point?
would you wait for your birthday to be? Oh, by the way, this isn't working out. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I would assume it's like. Why? This is like the timing doesn't make any sense.
It didn't make sense. No. Nothing about it made sense. So it was like, but it made it really easy to move on. And another really great part of this story that I just remembered was, I want to say maybe 6 or 7 months later. So we were like into the fall. I was out. I don't know where I was, but he showed up to my house and got my dad at the door, and he gave my dad a letter that basically, it was for me. My dad didn't read it. But he gave it to me, and it was basically like an apology / PS. Thank your dad for choosing this and this, or recommending this in this school because I got into it. Blah blah blah. Whatever program he did. But it was just super weird that like maybe he was guilty for that long about how things happened. That he wrote me a letter and dropped it off in my room.
maybe that was his way of just kind of letting that go and just thinking I'd come to peace with this and just move on in his way.
Yeah,
It does seem like random.
It was
after
so
the fact.
random. My dad's
Yeah.
like, "You'd never guess who showed up," and I'd be like, "Who?" And he was right. I would have never guessed.
Yeah.
So that was like my first one.
And that was like your
really-
first real relationship. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was grade 11. You know, in 6 months in high school is a long time.
It is.
It's because I can think of not my own, because God knows I was the ugly duckling when we were in high school. But it was. I can think of friends who were dating for. I remember. I remember one of our friends was dating someone for like 2 weeks at around like Christmas formal time, and it was just. I remember thinking like, oh, that was like a really long time ago. It's like it was only 2 weeks, and I'm like, it's interesting how like because 6 months in high school is like I know you're trying to think of who I'm talking
we'll
about.
talk later.
But I just think of 6 months in high school, being a very long time. So it is a big commitment for
It
me.
is, yeah.
Also, like when we're kids, right? Like we've gone. I don't know if I'm wording this correctly, but like we're older now, right? So the days just seem quicker. But when you're like a teenager, like you're still kind of like new to life, so the days do seem longer. Which is why I look back and now, like if I'm doing a day at a school, like it's so much quicker than as a student because we've done more time. We've done harder time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
My school days passed.
Yeah,
quick.
so that's why. You're just waiting for me. Okay. We have 7 minutes left.
Okay, we have time.
Yeah, I mean, we have an episode in the computer right now that the one where I dumped the girl on a date. Like that was one of them. But I was with this one person, on and off for 2 fucking years, and what? Other than that one, who else is there, Kevin?
No, the profanity is what I was explaining. No, you didn't. Anyway.
Anyway. So, when I say I'm gonna just go up and so it was just up and down, and there was broken up a few times, and if there's anything I've learned over these last few years is that if you're on again, off again, on again, off again, very much harder to make things work. And people told me that, but I didn't believe it. But this one instance, what happened? Oh, it was at her house. And things have gotten it was too wacky, and it was ridiculous. And, she started sobbing uncontrollably, which I didn't understand because it was a situation that she created. Right, and it was just like, any rational person would have certain feelings and not, be very willing to be understanding. And she just was sobbing uncontrollably in her room, and it was hard because, especially back then, I was a very forgiving person, and
I'm glad that changed.
and then it got really out of hand as we were going down the stairs and into the living room, and I was like, I'm out, I'm done. And she starts going on her hands and knees, and to this day, it irks me. Like every time, and I don't think about it. Actually, the last time I thought about this was like way ages ago. Mm-hmm. But this image that I will never forget was just literally her on her like hands and knees with her arm reaching out, like please, 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 like just every variation of take me back kind of deal. Eventually, I made the stupid decision and did, but that had a lot of emotions, and I probably looking back, like it was hard. It was hard because you care for a person. You tried everything to make it work, and this was not the first or the last breakup. This was like
somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle, and it's just like, oh my goodness, how many more hurdles? But when you're emotionally compromised, it's hard. Mm-hmm. And of course, I wasn't doing her any favors, like taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of deal.
I can relate to that feeling.
Yeah, and it was hard, and it's just like, you know what? Like and then it didn't end there, because what happened was, oh my gosh, wow, a lot of details are coming out now that I'm saying this, but like this was around Halloween 2 years ago? Yeah, yes, because then what happened was, like, she had been waiting for me to come back, and she had the house to herself, and I never came back. and like she was sending me pictures of her like red-eyed, blurry-eyed,
She was sending
crying.
pictures of this?
Yeah, you were there.
I don't remember the pictures though.
I was not
She
there,
was
and I
sending
did
me
not-
pics. Yeah, well, someone else was. We'll get to that later. But anyway, but someone, we were there in a group of, Nolan's house. Who was in Nolan's house that Halloween?
Oh!
Yeah! That, yeah.
Oh, yeah!
Yes, we'll keep you up to speed.
I think
So-
she knows who you were talking about.
So, anyway, it's fine. So it was hard because she kept sending me pictures, and I'm not talking one or two. I'm saying like 3 or 4.
Like an album worth.
And it was play, and I think that's why a week later I came around because I felt guilty, and I didn't like looking back. I'm like, why? Why did you feel freaking
I
guilty?
get that.
And she was like saying, like she was texting me, like and she, even like when we got back together, like whenever we got in an argument, she's like, I was waiting for you. I was all alone, and I waited for you. I can't watch it. I remember she said she was watching Friends on Netflix. But she was like, every time I watch Friends, I'm always brought back to that night, and you never came back. And
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow, talk about pulling on some heartstrings.
and it worked.
Yeah, that's guilty, yeah.
Oh, and it worked. A year later, it didn't work. So it's just things. Things got better for a while, but then, as all habits,
It's like a roller coaster. It's like
Goes
good,
back.
and you crash.
but it was the same crap over and over again.
Yeah.
But like it's hard because when I haven't thought of that for a long time. I'd say about a year, but that image will always haunt me. Haunt me because it was not a nice image, and you don't. I mean, especially like if I don't like seeing people cry. I mean, even though it was a situation that she caused and she created, but it sucked, and it was just like that. I would say I would never want to go through again, ever.
No, I don't blame you, man. That's rough. But,
Welcome back, everybody. This is part 2 of our breakup stories. Come on, Kevin, you should be on
it's
this.
still the same episode, yeah.
Oh,
We're just going to put it all together at the end.
oh,
It's still the same episode, yeah. So that's
that makes a lot more sense.
Another breakup story.
Yes.
This time I met this person during our night school days, long time ago.
Yes.
Yes.
8 years
I'm
ago.
sorry, I was a horrible biology.
No, but I was also me in high school, so I don't blame you for wanting to see other people. I was me in high school, so I don't blame you at all.
I feel like I would have gotten a
Yeah.
better grade if I stayed focused. Probably.
But then we wouldn't be talking about this right now, so
There you
I mean,
go.
it all plays out.
There you go.
Oh boy.
So this person, I met them. Things kind of whirled together really quickly because it was prom season.
Yeah, it was February you guys met.
Yes,
Or
and
March, yeah.
it was March because I went to the Dominican for the.
For the
Dream
dream trip.
trip.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then prom, high school graduation, and that person went off to university, which was fine. I mean, I handled like the distance thing. They would come home almost every other weekend. I went out
Made it
there a
work.
couple times. It was fine. I'm the committed type, so I made it work. He made it work. It was fine. Things got a little weird. I want to say like 9 months in, 9 or 10, where he was at school, and I remember getting a text. It was like, happy 9-month anniversary. By the way, this girl stayed over at my dorm, but nothing happened. I just wanted you to know.
Is that a clear as conscious why he would bring it up, though? Or?
I don't know why. It made me kind of be like, huh?
Like, if nothing happened, then why are you even mentioning it?
I don't even know. I don't know. So I let that kind of just,
Slide.
I brushed it under the rug. I'm like, whatever. I was working a lot. We're kind of fast forwarding into summer, so we've been together for like this year. I was working at Ford, so I was working 2 weeks a days, 2 weeks a nights.
Wow, you
Busy
were there,
girl.
you were there for a long time.
Busy
Yeah.
girl.
Wow.
And there was something that happened over the summer that was, it made like a negative comment towards my weight, which I don't think I have a problem with. So
No.
that happened. And I was like really offended by that. And I told my friends about it, and they're like, dump him, that's not cool, whatever. We went to Midnight Madness.
Where are the
downtown.
torch and pitchforks? Get him! Yeah. Get him! That's what you have girlfriends for, man. Support. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, Midnight Madness in Oakville. I was there with my friends and this guy, and we were like holding hands because that's what you do when it's dark out and you're in a big crowd. And he's like, "Go stand over there. I'm gonna walk and see how many girls look at me." What? What? And my friends are like,
smart.
you know what? He was a really dumb boy.
Yeah. I'm sure in some ways he was smart. Yeah.
Maybe. Socially, not a clue. No light bulbs on.
I've said that about people. I'm like, they're book smart, but they're Sesame Street smart.
Yeah, right.
No street smart. See, that was good, man. That was good. Yeah, lead in more with that stuff. Yeah, that's great.
That was so much better.
Yeah.
But it took like those two particular occasions for me to be like, you know what? Now I'm not up for this anymore. It was day shift. I was mulling over this all day at work. I was like, I have to break up with him. So I did it. I went to PetSmart and got crickets for my lizard, and I was like, can't leave them in the car too long. They'll cook. So I got the bugs, left them in my car.
Don't you hate when that happens to you too? Yeah, that's the worst, man. Absolutely.
Crickets cook.
Oh God.
Went to his front porch, and I was like, hey, look, we need to talk. And I was supposed to go to some family event thing, and I was like trying to bail really hard. And he's like, oh, like, come in. I'm like, no, on the porch now. Like, I just need to get this off my chest. Basically said, like, hey, look, we're done. I'm sorry, not sorry, but, like, I gotta run. I got crickets in the car.
Wow. You don't understand. They're gonna cook. Crickets for the lizard.
So I hopped in the car and I left. And then by the time I got home, I had probably like 13, 14 text messages.
Damn.
Quoting Taylor Swift. You are the best thing that has ever been mine. And other things along those lines.
Wow.
And then his friend started texting me. What the heck is your problem? Why did you do that?
Dude,
what happened? I don't know what it is.
Why are your ex-boyfriends like? Why are your ex-boyfriends' friends harassing you?
I don't know, but it's still happening to this
Why is this
day.
like a trend? Yeah.
I don't know, but it's an annoying one. So that happened, and I just remember my mom, like 2 weeks later, was like, oh, I haven't seen so-and-so around in a while. And I'm like, yeah, because we broke up 2 weeks ago. She goes, are you serious? I never would have expected you to actually do that.
Thanks for the support, Mom.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. I did it.
Yeah. And here we are years later talking about it.
Digging up the past.
Yeah, that's well, Mike, you had another embarrassing...
So, not embarrassing, but one
See, it came to you.
It's not, well...
the entire time he was listening to you talk, he was thinking...
No, I within the first 3 seconds...
Does he know who I'm talking about?
I do, and I've heard the story before, but I did
hear the story, so thank you.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, within the first 3 seconds of when we shot, it came back to me. Because I'm like, what was the other time? I'm like, oh, the one that ended it all. But it wasn't so much me. So what happened was, and I remember the date specifically because I was being evaluated at my placement. And at this time, I worked, no, I still do, but I worked at a pharmacy, and it's a small pharmacy, and everyone decided to take a vacation. So, of course, naturally, I would be working at the school for free, well, not free, placement, right? And then you go to pharmacy.
Yeah,
free.
Yeah,
you're right. Yes. And then I hightail it to get to the pharmacy and work the whole night. So this was going to happen for about 2 weeks. Yeah. And the first day that this happened, I was getting evaluated. And the evaluation I was really nervous for, but I prepared and it went really well. And then this same person that I talked about before, she oh boy, how do I clean up my language here? She's nuts. So what happened was she knew. No, I know I cleaned it up a little bit, but she knew right away like that my time was going to be, and it was just for 2 weeks. Just for 2 weeks. Wait, was this the one that ended it all? You know what? It happened so many times I forget now if this was the one that ended it all. But she, I remember I used to call her at work. I would have like 5 minutes just,
say hi.
And I would just take 5 minutes and just call her and just, how is everything doing? And she was well aware of the situation. And she knew that I couldn't have done anything about it. Like, it just...
It was out of your control.
Yes. So, I forget exactly how, I called her and she was like, oh my God, I had to go. And she goes, listen, I've been thinking. And then, she's like, I've been talking to my mom, and who I'm like, is the last person to give advice.
Good advice to, yeah.
that might come back to bite me in the ass. Oh well, I blocked her on everything, so I don't care. And she was just like, and she's like starts giving me the runaround, and I go, please don't tell me you're doing what I think you're doing. I'm like, she's like, I'm not going to be seeing you as often. And I'm like, it's 2 weeks. And I said, plus, I have the weekends off.
Yeah.
So this took place the beginning of the second week, because we'd already done the first week, and I saw her on the weekend, both days. And I was like, look, it's just one more week. Like, I don't understand. I said, you realize that, like, the only thing that's been getting me through this so far is knowing that by Friday night, like, I'm not going to be working as much. I'm going to be done my placement, and I'm just,
I'm going to see you.
Yeah, I'm going to have time, because it's hard, and, like, this person didn't drive, so she wasn't going to make the trek out, So it was just like, it was really hard, and so I was kind of dumbfounded, because because at this point I'm just like, of all the crap that you put me through, you're doing this over the phone, and
where's the decency in that?
Well, because she knew
breaking up over text for you.
She knew.
You, I mean, God knows that your heart has been violently ripped out and stomped on multiple times.
So many times.
Sucks to be you, man. I mean, not now.
You know how you said
now.
I love you. My favorite line ever from you is like, "You haven't had a hard day. You've had a hard life." Like that. That just.
Am I wrong?
Anyway, that's
not in all aspects.
No.
Like, your parents are so nice.
I like how you're saving yourself. Yeah. You're
anyway, moving on. Hi, Mom. How are you? So
your family watches this.
My mom does.
Mine
So.
does too now.
Oh God. So,
Kristina, who are you hanging out with? It's just like, they're harmless.
It's okay. Her parents like me. It's fine. So at this point in the game, I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe this, and she's like just pulling things out of her ass, and it was difficult at that point, because I'm like, of everyone to like, I said, of all people, you to break up with me over this, and here's the why she did it over phone call, because she knew I wasn't.
Was this the one that ended it all?
Well, I just said like a few minutes ago, I don't remember if this was.
But after regaling us, has it come back to you if this is the one?
This was the one that stuck out because it was so like WTF.
Ridiculous.
You guys got back together after this?
I'm trying
There's
to
a
remember.
possibility?
I don't know.
You're crazy.
So
Why
much
did you go back?
Wait, did she go over the phone because she knew she couldn't say it to your face?
She knew that I had no time, because what happened was I'm done at the pharmacy. I have to mark and I have to prepare for the next day.
Whoa.
Mom, wait, what? So she knew that I wasn't gonna I didn't have physical time to go over there. And then
dump your ass over the phone. Sorry, guys, it's been a real 2 years, but that's all you get.
Oh no, the best was when like she would find out that I was hanging out with other friends that she didn't necessarily like for no reason.
Like you?
And it was like
She didn't.
no,
She didn't dislike.
She was okay with
Oh.
you. Yeah, she was
Whoa.
okay with you.
Whoa,
Just figuring out.
guys!
Yeah.
I met her twice.
Although we did spend the Valentine's Day, you and I, together, because she was at work. I remember that.
You did.
Yeah. It was a hockey game.
Romantic.
Remember we dropped flowers off to her and then we went to the game?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I stayed back for
We did
3
do that,
hours
yeah.
for her.
So
for-
romantic.
yeah. Anyway,
We had a fun time.
yeah, it was
I
fun.
believe it.
We held hands after.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Um,
Anyway, so that was just ridiculous, and it took me so long to get me but just over the situation, It was just like, my God.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
but
Okay.
at least that you had the decency for the guy in high school. You did it to his you said it to him in person.
Yeah.
You didn't
took
text
a lot,
him?
but yeah, I did.
Like my first girlfriend, I think I broke up with her over text because she was already back where she lived, which was like 2 hours away, and she made no plans to come out and see each other. So that's why I was like, that's why we're ending it over text. I've grown up since then. I remember there was a girl that I dated that you met at Union.
Briefly,
Yeah.
I remember her.
I took the train into Toronto for 5 minutes to break up with this girl, and then I took the train. I took the next
Spend
train.
more time on
Free
the train.
presto! I spent more time and money to get down there because on the principle that I wasn't going to break up over text. She lived out in Scarborough, so I made I made the decision to go to her in person
Yeah.
to say we're breaking up.
That's like you can, I don't know, like not honorable, but like in a way, yeah, like.
Is breaking up?
Well, you the fact that you went out of your way to do it in person. You're not a sleazebag.
I mean, I don't know this person that you're talking about really that well. I've only met her a couple times, and I don't know her personally, really.
You knew her.
But from what you're telling me, this story doesn't seem out of her wheelhouse.
Oh my god! What wasn't out of her wheelhouse?
But like, it just seemed to me that like you don't have the decency. You're with someone for that long. You don't find it's respectful to be like, you know what? I respect you as a human being, but I don't see this working out as a romantic thing.
It's just it was because at that point I thought things were good. It was just no, we did get back together because she was saying like it was hard. Yeah, don't. What a moral! I know. But it was funny because like she would laugh. I think she was made a joke and she was like, oh, that's just my personality. In my head, I was just like, unfortunately, she has 6 more of them. You know, like even the dude she's with now, I'm just like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Oh,
well, he's jealous of you. No, is he stalking you too now or something?
No.
No.
I don't even know anymore. I blocked everybody. Like it was
See, I do applaud
but
you.
I'm like, man, she lied to me. She lied to you.
The one thing that you do that I never have the stones to do is like when you burn bridges, you're like
I
am the same way.
I
am the same way. I don't let people cross me twice.
It's not like it's not a little fire.
No, it is like Hiroshima nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I've slowly been like blocking and deleting and erasing certain parts of my past 6 years of my life.
6.5.
If you want to get super duper technical,
I'm sorry.
6 years and 9 months.
Oh, so
how many days? How many hours?
How many minutes?
Super duper technical. I'm not that technical. But I find that that's really the only way I can move forward is if I just don't let those people come with me.
True,
and
I am having people give me some backlash right now for what I've done or what I'm choosing to do.
Friends of the ex, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those good old friends of the ex.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, some people I've been able to stay in like very distant touch with from years ago, from very, very long ago, long relationships. Mm-hmm. But as of most recently, no, it's been very, very sour, very not nice.
So it's going to be ugly, especially because that's like a quarter of your life too, right? I mean,
up to this point, yeah,
like
25 years.
Like it's
a quarter of your life is 6 years, bro. Basically, I mean,
we're
rounding. Technically, it's like 6 years.
According to his mom, we've been together for a lifetime, and I shouldn't throw it away. But in the words of
Taylor Swift,
the
poet of our times,
he dropped my name. Something should have had it coming. I don't know.
I knew you were trouble when I'm coming in. No, that's not
even the song.
Oh, sorry.
No,
that's as much as I listen to her.
No, if he dropped my name. Should have seen it coming, spent my change, whatever.
It's just
should have seen it coming.
I mean, you can quote yourself now.
I can quote myself now. I can.
Yes, you can.
Slightly different.
She's got lyrics on her feet.
But yes.
Whoa.
Am I lying?
No, they're there.
All right. Sorry. Before Kevin rudely interrupted, what were you saying?
No, it's just the song. I did something bad. That's all I have to say right now.
It's I don't know. It's funny talking about like, oh, it was a good breakup. They're always murky, right?
I feel better. Yeah, definitely murky.
Have you had one that wasn't murky? I can't think of it.
See,
one was very full of vomit.
That's from them, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
from him. But we can blame the food for that, though.
And the alcohol.
Yeah.
Young and Undone Squares, New Year's Eve, made bad choices, and I wasn't gonna put myself in a situation with someone who continuously made bad choices and puked all over me on New Year's. Out. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to point to you because it wasn't you.
I know. I didn't think that at all.
It was so gross. Yeah, that was my shortest.
So gross. Yeah.
Shortest relationship. It was like 4 weeks.
Oh my god, dude.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, that was great.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna kick out of him laughing.
No, because I look at my relationships and the majority of them I've been the one to break things off.
Yes.
There have been 3 women that have broken up with me, and that's it. And so I know what you're saying. A breakup is never good because you'll always be the villain, or you'll always be. And I don't know what's worse, being the one to instigate it or the one being broken up with, because you're kind of a jerk for breaking up with someone, but you're also, if you're the person that gets dumped, you're the one that everyone feels sorry for. So I really don't know which is worse.
You know how many people have told me I'm sorry, including both of you, and I'm like, please don't say sorry. This was my decision. I'm owning my choice. And I'm not. I feel like you did, and I told you don't say sorry. I know, but I was like, don't worry about it. I said no, like you don't need to be sorry for me. Like be happy that I came to this realization. And you, I said. First I said, don't tell your mom. And then I said, because you knew before my own mother did. And then I said, don't say sorry for me because I don't feel bad. I don't feel like I did anything. I don't know, my mom wasn't even surprised. She was like, oh, yes.
No, here's the thing.
My whole family was so happy.
My sorry came from the fact that, it's hard. It's a long time, and there was obviously issues, and, just sorry that you had to go through that, right?
You still have time, or?
Actually, I think we do. Yeah, we got 2 minutes. So, it's just I was about to go on a roll too, Kevin.
You felt bad for me because it's hard, but
right, it's like it's hard, like especially like I mean, you broke.